Did you think I was crying? Don't worry, they were just crocodile tears, like the ones in the short story El Cocodrilo. El Cocodrilo, or The Crocodile, is a story by one of my favorite authors, Felisberto Hernández. It is a funny yet heartbreaking tale of a man who tries to sell stockings, and in the process he finds out he can cry on a whim. Here's an excerpt from The Crocodile, in which the main character cries in a stocking shop for the first time. The next day, late in the morning, I went into one of the largest shops. The owner laid out my stockings out on the counter and stroked them for some time with his stumpy fingers. He seemed not to hear my words. His sideburns were shot through with gray, as if he left shaving cream on them. Meanwhile, several women came in. Before attending to them, he signaled me with one of the fingers that had caressed the stockings that he was not going to buy them. I didn't move and thought about persisting. Maybe later, when no one else was around, I could start up a conversation with him. I'd tell him about an herb which, when dissolved in water, could dye his sideburns. The women weren't leaving, and I felt unusually impatient. I longed to leave that shop, that city, that life. I thought about my country and about many other things. And suddenly, just as I was beginning to calm down, I had an idea. What would happen if I started crying right in front of all these people? It struck me as a very violent thing to do, but I'd been wanting to do something out of the ordinary to put the world to the test for a long time. I also needed to prove to myself that I was capable of great violence. And before I could change my mind, I sat down in a little chair, backed up against the counter, with all these people around me. I put my hands to my face and began emitting sobbing noises. Almost simultaneously, a woman let out a loud cry and said, "A man is weeping!" Then I heard a hubbub of voices and snatches of conversation. "Don't go near him, little girl. Maybe he just heard some bad news. The train came in only a little while ago. There hasn't been time for the mail." From between my fingers, I saw a fat woman saying, "To think how the world is now. If my children couldn't see me, I'd be crying too." At first, the tears didn't come, and I was desperate. I was even afraid they'd think I was playing a joke on them and have me arrested. But finally, I choked up from my anguish and the tremendous effort I was making, and the first tears were possible. I felt a heavy hand settle on my shoulder, and when I heard the owner's voice, I recognized the fingers that had stroked the stockings. He said, "But, compañero, a man's got to have some spirit." Then I stood up, as if some mechanism had been activated, took my 2 hands away from my face, removed the third one that was on my shoulder, and said, my face still wet, "I'm fine, really. I have lots of spirit. It's just that sometimes this comes over me. It's like a memory." Through the expectant silence that fell around my words, I heard a woman say, "He's weeping over a memory." "That's all for now, señoras," the owner announced. I smiled and dried my face off. Thank you.